In the pulpit garden of the Druids' Arms in Stanton Drew stands what's known as the Stanton Drew Cove. They're three huge stones in such a really beautiful setting next to the church. We actually stopped in the Druids' Arms for lunch, and I must admit the meal there was really lovely, so I can highly recommend that. And then from there it's just a short walk through a lovely village to the actual circles themselves. I will say though, they say they're so underrated, these stones are, and not as visited as the largest one in the UK, which is Avebury. But I can see why, because it took us 3 circuits of the village before we actually found the little road in, because they're such tiny single track roads. But believe me, it's worth the trip. You will enjoy it. There is space for a few cars just by the stone circle, and they do ask for £1, and there's an honesty box on the gate there. And to be honest, we all put some money in, because I think any farmer that welcomes people onto his land when he's trying to run a farm with cattle is legendary, and it was worth every penny. And it was really lovely to see the cows in amongst the stones. But this Avebury for me has a real energetic feel to it. Here it was absolutely peace, a real grounding, earthy peace to it. And I took my sister and her partner, and it was surprising because they're very tolerant of me. I dragged them off to all sorts of strange places. So for them to really enjoy it and say how peaceful they found it and how safe it felt was really lovely as well. So we're walking among the stones here, down towards the river and the floodplains here, and yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful setting. And how impressive were the stones. The photos don't do them justice, they are huge. cows had taken very little notice of us while we were walking round, but suddenly as we got to the top of the field to cross over the road to the other circle, the whole herd went charging right round the outside of the field, apart from this one cow who stood there calling. And it was a really strange, surreal sound echoing across the whole of the stones. It was like the watchers of the stones were calling out to them. But then we crossed over the road into the little circle. This is one of the smaller ones. And for me, I think this is where they would have entered first on the procession down. It has a really, really lovely, calm, peaceful feeling. And I highly recommend going there. Don't miss out on this one because it is truly lovely. From the smallest circle, it was just a short walk back past the farm and back past the church. And we did stop to have a quick look at the church, and it was really lovely to see some of the stonework and this cheeky like gargoyle face above the rain hopper. It's an interesting little church that's been changed a lot over the years, and it is worth a stop in as well. But it was a really lovely day, and I can really highly recommend visiting Stanton Drew.